I am about to turn 34, and birthdays always make me pause and reflect on the decisions that I've made, all of the questionable ones, and the things that I wish I could go back and whisper to my 24-year-old self about, now that I'm in such a different place of knowledge and experience and growth. Because back then, I thought I knew what healthy meant, and I literally had no idea. I was doing everything wrong. I was working against my body instead of working with it. I thought that working harder always would equate to better results, and I thought that being exhausted and drained all the time just meant that I was ambitious and I had high standards and high goals that I was trying to achieve. I know now that that is absolutely not the case, and I feel like I have so much wisdom to share with you now that I'm in my 34th year of life. Now, a decade later, I have learned that the small, simple, and almost boring habits, if you will, actually make the biggest difference that help me feeling strong, confident, energized, sculpted, and honestly the most toned and hot, I think, that I have ever been. And I've been able to do it without living in the gym or stressing over every single bite. Those days are in my 20s and long gone. So I am here today to share with you my 34 cheat codes, one for every single year that I have been on this planet, that have completely changed and transformed my life from honestly the inside out. So let's get into it. Protein is queen. At 24, I thought that eating light, eating low carb was the secret to looking good, and now I know that the actual non-negotiable at every single meal is protein. It keeps you satiated, it keeps you full, it keeps you satisfied, and it helps us build that lean, strong muscle that we all want to look super toned and sculpted and to be our best and fittest self. Walking is underrated. It is truly a habit that I wish, if I could choose one habit to go back in my 20s and reincorporate then, it would be walking. I feel really in the past couple of years, it has completely transformed my life. It has helped me get in such a better mental state every single day, starting my morning by going out, getting the steps, getting the fresh air, the sunlight. But I also think it's been a huge contributor for me actually changing and transforming my body. So girly, if you are in your 20s, I don't care what decade you're in, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, walking is the best, easiest, low impact form of movement that you can start incorporating today. Sleep is a secret weapon. I used to brag about getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night. I would be partying until all hours of the night, and yes, those days were so fun in my 20s, and I would do it back to back to back to back, but my body was drained. That is probably why now, compared to back then, I have this major glow up. I protect my 8 hours of sleep like my life depends on it, because it does. If we look at our wellness habits in a pyramid, sleep is on that bottom. So before we can even go to the next step, we need to master our sleep. So get your supplements, get your nighttime wind down routine, like really narrow in and focus on getting that proper rest every single night if it's not something that you are currently prioritizing, because it will change everything for you. Strength training is a non-negotiable. It's not just about Pilates, it's not just about cardio. You want to start incorporating strength training now so that you do not need to play catch up later. I also find that habits we start when we're younger, it's a lot easier to carry them into our 30s and our 40s if we already are used to doing them in our 20s. So if you're not currently doing any type of strength training routine, check out my app Shape. I have easy follow along workouts that incorporate strength, weights, also Pilates, cardio, mobility, all of the things, but our foundation, again, in terms of exercise, is strength training, and we need it to build strong muscles, strong bones, and be able to move and live through life with a healthy body. So, strength training. Supplements can fill gaps, but they are not magic. Yes, I cannot live without my probiotic in the morning for my gut and my digestive system. I need my vitamin C for immunity and for skin health. I want my magnesium every single night to help me sleep better at night. But if I have an incredible supplement routine and I'm not pairing that and matching that with a healthy lifestyle in terms of diet, movement, exercise, then the unhealthy lifestyle is going to outweigh what you're taking and putting in your body anyway. So know that you need to have synergy between all of the things, all of the habits that you are doing in your life, and the better choices that you can make for yourself, the better it will ignite all of the other habits that you are currently doing. Gut health is everything. Mood swings, skin issues, bloating, it all starts within the gut. So pay attention, make choices to help with a healthy digestive system and microbiome. I feel like when I had gut issues in my late 20s going into my early 30s, it was a really uncomfortable time for me. And I have a lot of videos on it, so make sure you check out my latest video on my gut health and the journey that I've been on with that and how I healed my gut. But having a happy and well-functioning gut, honestly, is the best feeling in the world. And again, it comes back to the choices that we are making to help support that. And it should be top priority for us all. I know I'm saying like a lot of things should be top priority, but I mean, we wanna be hot girls, so we gotta take a lot of things into consideration. Hydration and food before coffee. This was one of the biggest mistakes I was making in my 20s that was completely messing with my gut. And now you will not see me drinking coffee before I have food and also hydration. I am either having my magic morning drink in the morning, celery juice, water with electrolytes. First thing, right away on my walk, I used to take it with me, and then I will have my breakfast, and after my breakfast, I will drink my coffee. When I made this switch in routine, again, everything started moving again with my digestive system. The bloating was gone, because the thing is with coffee, some people can actually handle it. Not again with everything, not every single person is the exact same, but for a majority of people, coffee is very, very dehydrating and very harsh and acidic on our system. So it can cause a lot of inflammation and irritation, which is why it can mess with your gut. And again, making this change was massive for me and something that I wish I changed, honestly, 10 years ago. You cannot outtrain a bad diet. At 24, I thought you could. I would go out, I would drink all night, wake up, eat McDonald's, or maybe eat McDonald's before I went to bed, and then wake up and go to all-you-can-eat sushi. But I went to the gym, so that canceled each other out, right? No, it doesn't work like that. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier in our conversation today. All of our habits need to come together, work together synergistically in order to make a difference. So if we're doing all the right things on this side, but that one part, so like I said before, if our sleep is off or if our diet is completely off, we will never get, number one, the results that we want. We won't get that transformation. We will not get that glow up, because a lot of what we consume and put in our bodies, it shows up everywhere on our body. And dialing in on the food, on the nutrition, on our diet, what we are eating every single day is such a major player in our overall health. Rest days are productive. Our muscles need them, our nervous systems need them, and our hormones need them. I used to think that I had to push through, I had to work out every single day. I would feel guilt if I took a day off, and now I am so happy if I have 4 really great workouts in my week. I know now that that fatigue that I'm feeling sometimes is a sign for me to take a rest that day. I don't need to force myself to show up, to work out, to be productive in a way of moving my body. Maybe my 7,000 to 10,000 steps that day is good enough. And now that I know that, now that I am aware, it has lowered so much inflammation in my body. And that is a big attributor to, again, the results that I'm seeing now. I'm doing less and I am getting more from it. And honestly, like, who doesn't love that? Another big one I learned throughout my 20s because of injury is mobility now prevents pain later. I, again, unfortunately learned the hard way, and honestly, everyone listening to this should feel so lucky that I've gone through all the bull crap that I've gone through to get to the place now where I can share all of my knowledge and like facts to make us all feel good. But I had multiple injuries. Specifically, I had tendonitis in my hip in my 20s, and it was because I was not prioritizing mobility in my routine. Again, I was just pushing through, doing a lot of strength training, a lot of conditioning, a lot of running, and eventually my hip wore down. I had a really bad injury. I was out from working out for 6 to 8 weeks. I focused on rehab with a physiotherapist and with chiro, but during that rehab time, I learned so much about mobility. And then that is actually when I started to really incorporate it into my practice, which is why I now incorporate it into Shape. We have so many mobility focused routines, and now my mobility routines are actually a big differentiator between my platform and majority of other fitness platforms, because a lot of people don't focus on that. But I truly know the importance of it, and it can make the biggest difference how you feel in your day. Sometimes a mobility series, 20 minutes, waking up, opening up, releasing the fascia, like maybe that is all you need in your day, and you will feel so much lighter as you go throughout your day. So mobility, yes, I love it. And if you want to try it for yourself, check the link in the description to get your free trial on my app Shape. Cooking at home is the cheat code. When I eat at home, let me tell you, I can see, even if I'm bloated like after a trip, I eat at home, all home cooked meals for 3 days, and I see the major drastic change in my body. When we eat at home, we control exactly every single ingredient that is going to everything we make. I will give you the perfect example. For about 3 weeks before I left for my Europe trip, I was eating at home every single day because my boyfriend was gone. We weren't going out for our dinners or our lunches like we normally do a few times throughout the week. I was literally making every single meal at home. The difference that I felt in my body was completely insane. Plus, the other benefit of eating at home is it is a lot cheaper. And if you are really serious about feeling your best, start looking up my recipes and start making your meals at home. Next, real whole foods beat any packaged snacks. I used to be a packaged snack girl. I would grab a protein bar, I would grab a little package of granola, I would make sure that I had packaged snacks at home that I could quickly just like grab and eat. Now instead, I really make sure that I am having 3 proper meals throughout the day, and I feel so much more energized, and my cravings are so much more curbed doing that. And a lot of the times the packaged snacks have ingredients, preservatives, gums, like things that we do not need to be putting into our body. So if you are able to really focus on having 3 meals versus, and having them be whole foods versus having like a bunch of packaged snacks throughout the day, it is a lot better. I'm gonna also put a free recipe guide that is focused on snacks below that you can download and have for free. So you can make some healthy snacks and have them ready for whenever you need them. We all need more fiber than we think. Yes, I feel like right now protein is a huge trend, but we cannot forget about our little friend, fiber. Not only is it good for digestion and keeping things moving, but it is also good for blood sugar regulation and staying full and satisfied throughout the day. Learn your best ways to manage stress before stress starts to manage you. So in my 20s, there was no mindfulness practice. I was not doing breathwork, meditation, journaling, none of that. Again, I feel like mindfulness has kind of come into its own era in the past few years, but if I had all of these tools in my 20s to manage stress, I probably would have been a lot less anxious. I probably would have been a lot less stressed, and my nervous system probably would have been a lot less heightened. So figure out what works for you. Some people just aren't meditators, and that is okay, but maybe you're a journal girl. Maybe you're just like an outdoor, fresh air, being in nature type of girl, and that's what really calms and grounds you. We all have different things that work for us, so find whatever it is that works for you so you can manage your stress. Alcohol is aging inside and out, and I'm not saying never. I am not saying that I do not drink alcohol, because I do. Once in a while, maybe once every few weeks, maybe sometimes every single week, or when I'm on vacation, sometimes almost every single day. And that is okay in moderation, but in my 20s, man, I was taking it back. Even when I was like a teenager, don't tell my parents, but when I was in high school, I was like chugging Bombay gin from the bottle. Like, I don't even understand how. Remember Smirnoff? I don't know if that's a Canadian thing, but like flavored Smirnoff vodka, a box of wine. I was drinking so much, and my skin, I had so much acne, I had wrinkles, and I wish that I had footage of these times, but I'm telling you, when I was a teenager, like phones didn't even exist, neither did the internet. That was the times that I was in, but oh my goodness, it completely changed who I was. And I'm not gonna take back those times. I had amazing times when I was younger with alcohol, but now, number one, my body can't metabolize alcohol the way that it used to, so having one drink or one glass of wine, it throws off my next day completely. But just know that alcohol is definitely not great for longevity, and we should be very mindful when we are consuming it. Your cycle is a superpower, not an inconvenience. When I was 24, I did not know anything about cycles. I don't know why they're not teaching that in our curriculum in school for women and reproduction, but I had no idea about the different phases. That was only really something I learned in 2020 and 2021. Now that I know about the 4 different phases in the woman's cycle, I can sync my nutrition and my movement with that. So in my follicular and in my ovulatory phase, I know that I can probably push a little bit harder, and I don't need to be so mindful with what I'm eating. When I am in my luteal, in my menstruation phase, I am resting, I am calm, I am prioritizing my downtime. I'm making sure that I am controlling my sugar intake, all the things so that I can feel my best during this phase. We want to work with our bodies instead of working against it, and cycle syncing is the baseline of how we can start. Skin health is an inside job. No skincare, no cream, no moisturizer or face wash can beat hydration, nutrition, and sleep. When these 3 things are on point in conjunction with, yes, some good skincare, I will make sure I link all of my favorites below. That is when you have that glowy glass skin, and I can tell you from my own personal journey that the moment I was able to get those 3 things in sync is when my skin completely changed. And I mean, for 34, I feel like my skin is looking pretty good, so let's go. Stop chasing quick fixes. If something that you are following or you see a program, a diet, is promising sustainable results in 7 days, it is a scam. It is lying to you. It is not about doing something for a couple of days to drop weight quick. It is about really transforming your lifestyle and incorporating habits that you want to show up to and want to do every single day to feel your best from the inside out. Having good posture is the best ab routine. If you have an anterior tilt, so if you stand with an arch in your lower back and you are not moving through your day with your glutes and your core engaged, girlfriend, you are missing out. I feel like that is one reason why my core is so strong. My core is by far the strongest part on my body. I'm not going to negate all of the hard work I do with my training, but also having good posture allows for me to have my core engaged and strong and working when I'm sitting, when I'm standing, when I'm walking, when I'm moving throughout my entire day. So posture, posture, posture. Same thing with the shoulders. We can all check in right now. Make sure your shoulders are back and we're going up, back, and down. That is our starting position. our lower back is not arched, and we are turning on and firing up that core. Do not skip breakfast. It is true what they have been saying for decades, maybe even for centuries. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It sets you up for success for your day. It energizes you. It stabilizes your blood sugar as long as you're having a proper breakfast. And it will keep you full and satiated throughout your day. We want to think about a fiber, a healthy fat, a protein, maybe a carb, whether it's a piece of toast or some fruit, whatever it may be. Get that balanced breakfast and make sure that you are fueling your body properly for your day ahead every single day. Walking after meals is a game changer. This is something, again, that I started to incorporate in my 30s. It is really great for better digestion of the food that you just ate, blood sugar regulation of whatever you consumed, and will also give you more energy. Listen to your hunger cues. Don't listen to your friend who's telling you what time she eats every single day and trying to follow her plan and what works for her. Being in tune with your body is one of probably, again, the most underrated things that we probably just overlook all of the time. Our body knows what it needs. Your body will tell you when it's hungry. So listen, block out the noise, go inside, go internal, because your body knows what's up and it will always send you the signals to let you know. Saying no is self-care, and that is something that I have mastered now in my 34 years of life, but that wasn't always me. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to say yes to everything and everyone and every event, every party, every time someone needed help. And yes, I want to show up for the people that I love in my life, and most of the time I am there, but you also need to prioritize you, because if you are drained, if you don't have energy, if you feel like crap, you can't even show up as the best version of you for everyone else in your life. So prioritize saying no. Say yes when it is meaningful to you and when it's something that you or someone that you really care about. But know that saying no is also okay, and it is an act of self-love. Your workouts should make you feel better, not worse. I see people all the time getting injured from their workouts. I see a lot of that happening with CrossFit. I see a lot of that happening with certain fitness studios. I've seen it many, many times with one place in particular over the years. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna say one, multiple. I'm just gonna call it out. Okay, Barry's Boot Camp. I've known so many people over the years who've gone injured from those classes because it is so quick, it is high intensity, there's so many people in the room, the instructor can't focus on the form, soul cycle, spinning, lots of injuries, again, of clients and people, friends that I've known throughout the years. And if you're doing whatever workout it is, you could be doing Pilates and getting injured. Be mindful of that, because the whole point of putting time, effort, money, and energy into moving our bodies is to feel better. It's to better ourselves, to also make us feel confident and strong. So if we're constantly getting injured, this workout probably is not for you, girl. Lift heavier than you think you can with good form, of course, because that is when the change happens. We've had this misconception for years. Strength training makes you bulky. It does not make you bulky unless it is, like, I think we underestimate how hard, especially once we hit our 30s, how hard it is for us to build muscle mass. So going from, 10 to 15 pounds, girl, I promise you are not going to look like a bodybuilder after. What you are going to do, though, is number one, progressive overload. So you're going to challenge your body. You're probably going to build, hopefully, a little bit of more lean muscle as long as we are fueling properly. And I always encourage my Shape members, if you've been using the same weight over a period of time, try increasing it, even 1, 2, 3 pounds, because we should always be challenging ourselves. Quality over quantity in friendships. Surround yourself with people who support you, who want you to win, who show up for you, and who reciprocate a friendship. This is something that you will definitely learn with age. Low impact movement is just as important as our strength training. So things like yoga, Pilates, swimming, walking, these are all forms of movement that will keep us strong and healthy and help us with longevity throughout our lifespan. Daily sunlight is a free mood booster. That is something that I've learned in my 30s. Being outside, being in the sun has completely changed my mood, my energy throughout my day. I feel like I'm such a more happy, positive person because I spend so much more time in nature. And I don't care where you live in the world. Yes, I know I am privileged. I live in Miami. We are in the sunshine state here, but wherever you are at in the world, even if it's a dead of winter and the sun is out, trust me, put on that snowsuit, put on that parka, go outside, get that sunlight on your skin because it will make you so happy. Track your habits, not your weight. I used to weigh myself every single day when I was in university. I would be obsessed. If the scale went up, I would completely restrict and I would send myself on a spiral. If the weight was down, I would be so obsessed with it, and it is just not a healthy mindset or a state to be in. So focus on your habits and consistency instead of focusing on the number on the scale. Your body changes every decade, so adapt with it. What worked at 24 may not work at 34, and that's just called evolution. It is natural, it is completely normal, but again, it's about being in tune with your body, knowing what works for you at this stage in life. Honor it, show up for it, and it will make such a seamless transition into every new stage of your life. Celebrate the small wins. Celebrate every single milestone, every single accomplishment, not only for you, but the people around you, because that is what keeps you going. I think that sometimes we actually don't realize that this is our life. It is limited. The time that we have every single day is so precious. It is so valuable, and if you don't celebrate every little thing that's going on in your life, you are not taking full advantage and not living life to its fullest. Do not fear all carbs, only fear processed ones. So whole grains, fruits, sweet potatoes, all of the delicious, nutritious foods that actually nourish our body, don't be afraid. Embrace it, eat them. Balance it out with, again, our proteins, our fibers, our greens, and try to eliminate processed carbs as much as possible because in the end, they make us have less energy, they make us feel sluggish, and they are not something that we should be prioritizing and eating all of the time. Learn to cook 5 healthy go-to meals at home. When I used to order meal delivery and pick up food all the time for dinner, and then when I transitioned from that to actually making my own food, one of my older friends actually gave me really good advice. She said, master 5 meals that you love that you can eat at home, 1 for every night of the week, and those will be your new meals that you will go to on repeat that will save you money, time, energy. You won't have to think about it, and you'll look forward to and enjoy these delicious meals. So pick 5, find 5. Again, I have so many recipes on my app, so many recipes on my actual social media pages, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok. Find 5 that look amazing for you, crush them, enjoy them, and then your recipe book that you have at home will begin to grow. Last but certainly not least, invest in your health now because you will pay interest for life. Your health is the best ROI that you will ever get because if you feel good, if you look hot, if you feel hot, if you are energized, you have good digestion, your skin is glowing, your relationships are good, all of these things, you are going to have a plentiful, beautiful life. So invest in it. It is the #1 thing I always tell people. If you can splurge in feeling good for you and for yourself. And that is definitely something that I will continue to take into my mid to late 30s. That is my list, 34 cheat codes that I have learned by the age of 34. If you are younger than me in your 20s, take notes. If you are my age or older, maybe there are things, new habits that you can take into your own new year. And I want to hear your feedback in the comments. Let me know what cheat codes are you going to start incorporating, what really resonated with you. And as always, thank you so much for being here. I love empowering and encouraging women all around the world to look their best, to feel their best, and I hope this video gave you that. So make sure to check out my latest video, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys.